Hello everyone, this is Mr. Taylor. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to IPE, Graduate Writing and Research, IPE 520 for the fall online long session. If you've already referenced my announcements and some of the videos that are already published via our Canvas page, you'll notice that I've encountered some technical issues with Screencast-O-Matic, which is the platform we use to record lecture content and what have you. Was finally able to get some of that resolved, so I wanted to take the time and record some slightly updated videos. You'll notice that I published some course orientation and syllabus review videos from previous iterations of the course, so you all have something to reference in the interim. I do want to provide some slightly updated information, but you'll find by and large that most of that content is the same. The syllabus review is the same. There are just a few updates I want to tag on to that information. Since many of you have already taken a look at some of those videos, I don't want to provide any extraneous details. I will simply touch on some of the things that I've already touched on in the other videos and provide some slightly refreshed information and some other necessary start of term items that I believe will help you get a good solid start in graduate writing and research for the fall semester. The page that you are seeing on the screen in front of you is our Canvas shell. This is our home page we have here. You can see, if you're new to Canvas, it is our learning environment. It's similar to Blackboard. It's similar to Desire to Learn or any other type of platform like that that you may have seen with your studies and your undergraduate tenure. It operates pretty much the same. You have a dashboard, for instance, here. Where you'll see all of your current courses. You'll see items over here that are deadline-driven calendar items. And then if you're a MASM student, which you all are, you should have a special course here also called the MASM Information Hub that houses information specifically to the MASM program, such as course rotations, internship forms, contact information. That particular course will be updated with more content in the future, so just know that if you have any academic questions or you need some guidance for other things outside of course-specific content, you can go to that particular course shell. This is our course. You'll notice my view looks a little bit different. I'm in the faculty or instructor view, but by and large, the content is still the same. So you'll see all of our calendar and deadline-driven dates over to the right, and then you'll see just some introductory information about the course. And then I've compiled a section of resources down here to help you all. Aside from the MASM Information Hub, you will have these resources, which should be somewhat of an exhaustive list of things that you may need as you are progressing through your time at Wingate University as a graduate student. The academics tab here, we have the academic calendar, and so this is tailored just to the MASM program. Copies of this may also be found on the Registrar's Office website. It has all of the respective deadlines and dates, academic dates and deadlines for the Fall 1, Fall 2 sessions, as well as the long session. One thing to take into consideration for the sessions, Fall long encompasses all of the sessions in the traditional semester, so both Fall 1 and Fall 2. So our start date is the 17th, and our end date will be December 1st for the last day of classes, and then the 5th for the last day of final exam week. And then it's a good idea to go ahead and keep a copy of this with you or download it because it has your spring and your summer deadlines. This will not change. These deadlines will remain static. They will remain the same. So it's a good reference point to have for planning purposes. Aside from the academic calendar, we also have the academic catalog here. Most of you all are new MASM students, and so I want to bring this to your attention as well. This catalog is, consider it to be your contract with the university. This is the new version. It's the 23-24 academic year. It has both undergrad and then graduate programs included. Graduate programs are found at the end. You can use the find function down here and locate MASM specifically. It's a good idea to start going through this and just becoming acclimated with the grading policies, the graduation policies, program requirements. It's just a good idea and rule of thumb to become familiar with those things, especially when you start academic advising with Dr. Christy DeWall. That usually starts approximately October, mid-October or so, in preparation for the spring and summer semesters. So it's a good idea to know where that's at. It has information for policies relating to grade appeals, for instance, grievances, withdrawing, things of that nature. So I do want to point that out. It's a good resource for you to refer to. We also have the Academic Resource Center link here. In the context of our course, when we get into the weeds of conducting the research that will constitute the bulk of the content in this class, many students in IPE 520 find it helpful to tap into the Writing Center as a resource. I do want to point out a distinguishing factor about that is when you engage with the Writing Center as a graduate student, you will not work with a peer or another student. You will work and collaborate directly with a faculty member who directs the center. He works one-on-one with all graduate students. He actually teaches this course sometimes in the summer semester, so he's a great resource, especially when we start working on the in-depth assignments, the two major assignments of the course. He will be a great resource. There's also some tutoring there. So I want to point that out. We have the textbook store called Academos. I'll touch on this a little bit, but if you feel so inclined to order required textbooks, of which there are 2 required texts for this course, you can get them from there. And then we have our course syllabus here, just linked on the front page for easy reference. Course material, this IPE points of emphasis is where I will compile somewhat of a study guide. I hate utilizing that term because as graduate students, you should not have a study guide. It's just part of being a graduate student is learning how to keep up with your own notes, being able to take copious notes. But what I try to do is to help everybody. I compile a peripheral type of list, just some bullet points, some heavy hitting topics, things that I consider to be integral to your understanding of course content. So as we go through each weekly module, I will try to extract some of those very pivotal points and put them in this document. So you can go here and refer to it on an ongoing basis just to get a refresher of module content. The modules can and sometimes will be loaded with lots of videos, sometimes hours long. And so if you're the kind of person who needs an at a glance bullet point, or at least as much of that as I can provide, if you find that helpful, I will do that and provide it here through that points of emphasis document. I will also put other things here that will just help you as we go through each particular module. Writing resources, these are things to help with the writing aspect of the course. So there's the Writing Center. We also have the Ethel K. Smith Library link here. You will become intimately acclimated with using this particular source. This is where you'll find all of your peer-reviewed studies, articles, data. This is where you can request an interlibrary loan to get certain documents and sources that our library may not have. And it's also where you can engage in some help. They offer certain courses. There's certain LibGuides that take you through, how do you accurately find a peer-reviewed source, things of that nature. So it's a good idea to take a look at that source also. These 2 items we'll talk about in depth at a later date, but just know anything tailored to writing specific or academic tone related items will be provided under this tab. Student support services are just a collection of other items that I find students find to be helpful. So you have disability support services here, counseling services, financial aid and planning, military resources, careers, registrar's office, parking services if you're on campus, ID services, etc., a campus map if you need it. One other thing that's at the bottom here is Bulldog Central, and this is predominantly used for undergraduate students, but if you have any issues with billing or financial aid, or if you have a technology issue, you can go here and request help. You can submit a ticket and you just fill the form out, you select the applicable office, and their office will get back to you as soon as possible. So I usually say if you need any assistance as a student, use Bulldog Central first, and then you can engage with the offices thereafter. Bulldog Central tends to be a quicker way to resolve certain issues as a student. So all of that is there, and then I will be providing some information about me in the event you may be interested on the last tab there. So that's just a general overview of this first page. Um, Not much else to really cover when it comes to Canvas. I will just point out that you'll note our assignments and the actual day-to-day bread and butter of the course will be housed under the modules tab. This is where you see our first module here in front of you, and as we progress through the semester, each new module will populate underneath. They're all organized in the same way. You'll have the title, then you'll have a page that will include just a brief intro to that particular module for the week. There's always going to be a module checklist that's in Microsoft Word format. So you can go through, and it's just another peripheral something I wanted to provide if you're the kind of person who likes to check off items as you complete them. It has everything from start to finish that you need to do to complete that particular module for the week. If you're the type of person who's somewhat archaic like myself and keep physical binders, if you find that to be helpful, you can print this out along with other module content. You can print any of this stuff and use it if you find it to be helpful. So there will be a checklist included with each module. And you'll typically find lecture videos, any other media will be uploaded there, and then you will have readings and assignments. All of it links back to the same module section here for the week, and so you'll find that main page, and this is the page you'll typically want to start with. Then you'll have your checklist, and then any documents or assignments related to that module will be there. Each module will look the same as we progress through. Of course, if we have quizzes that are in any module, you can find those under the quizzes tab, lockdown browser, all of this other stuff we'll discuss as we get closer to other assignments that utilize those items. Assignments here is where you'll find some of that same linked content. I'll have it organized by module and grade group. Class roster, you can click here. That's really all there is with Canvas to know. So I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of the updated course for fall. Also want to point out my contact information because that's something that has changed. In the previous videos, I point out my office is located in the Crowder Welcome Center, the DPC in 107. My office is now 172. So if you're familiar, if you're on campus, it's the same building with Starbucks, except instead of being in the admissions part of the building, my office is located in the marketing suite. So it's down the hall from careers. You walk into the marketing suite, and I'm down a hallway on the side. So if we ever meet, which I hope we will, I will meet all of you via Zoom. But if you're ever on campus and you want to talk or stop by, that's how you can find me. It's a little bit confusing, but if you can find the marketing suite and you walk in, take an immediate right, there's a hallway, and I'm at the end of that hallway.